Hello, Tony here, and I thought I'd give you a little bit of insight into my thoughts on pain and suffering. And over the past few years, I've done a lot of personal work with regards to pain and suffering and researched a lot of modalities on how to heal these things. And I'm finding common threads that I think I'd like to share with you, and I'm sure my opinions will change and grow as I go forward and all that. But here's what I've kind of come to so far and what I've learned. Pain and suffering are two different things, and we get them mixed up sometimes, at least I do. Pain is the actual feeling you get when something happens or from a trauma, whether it's physical or mental or spiritual. And suffering is your reaction to the pain. So however you react to it. And there's no judgment with that on how you react. We all react differently, and we're meant to react differently for different things. But one of the things that I've been learning as I've been going and researching these things is that pain is actually a teacher. It's there to show us something that's unhealed, and it's going to be there until we acknowledge it, until we give it love and heal it. And so how to get rid of the pain is the solution is to love the pain. So we'll talk about that a little bit. One of the ways that I learned about this myself is, especially when I was conducting concert bands on a daily basis, I had knots in my back that just were there for 10 years, and I couldn't get rid of them. And I was angry at them. I didn't like them. Of course, I mean, who would be happy with that? But what I learned after a while is that when I could massage that and make it feel better. So I have this massage stick, and I sit in my chair in the evening, and I used to massage those knots every day. And it felt good, but it didn't solve the problem over time. And what I realized is I had to fully get into that pain, into that feeling, before it would be allowed to release. So I would just sit on the spot of pain with the massaging stick for as long as I possibly could, pushing not so hard that I'm like bleeding, but pushing enough that I'm feeling the pain fully, and then just getting in that mode of sitting quietly with the pain and loving it and giving it a hug. And what would happen after a while is the knot would just snap and it would release. And that's because I was giving it love, and instead of being angry with it. And I'm feeling it, giving it attention and letting it teach its lesson. Suffering comes because when we're not willing to feel the pain, then that's what suffering is. When we're not willing to learn the lesson from the pain, and it's not necessarily a lesson we can write down. Sometimes it is, just depending. Some people go and get a massage, and with each knot that's released, they have a memory or a release or something, and that's fine. That happens too. But sometimes you don't even know what it is that's being released. You just know you feel better. So with regards to any type of pain, if you're able and willing, and there's so many modalities on how to do this, if you're able and willing to dive into the pain and feel it and love it, then you can make progress on it. And you may be able to release it in the moment. It may take a few times. But that's what those modalities are really having you do, is to learn from your pain. So pain is a teacher, and people have learned to tell their pain, okay, thank you, I've learned my lesson, I'm done with it, and the pain is just gone. But that takes some practice and experience, and that's where we get to completing the lesson. So once we've felt it fully, then we're able to release it. One thing that early on for me was really frustrating was to hear people say, "Oh, you just got to let that go." And I'm going, let it go. How do I let it go? I want to let it go. I've always wanted to let it go, but it's there. I can't get rid of it, whether it's mental, emotional, or physical pain. And so there's a missing component to that, right? Of course, we want to let it go. And in order to let it go, we have to feel it fully first. And every modality, again, that I've ever studied does that, helps you to feel it fully in a safe space and atmosphere. So that's how you can let it go, is by feeling it first. And sometimes I'm not willing to release it right away. And if that happens, then that's a great moment to forgive yourself for that, because it's not your time to release that particular pain yet. But that's how I've kind of approached it, and it's helping me to release things, whether physical or mental or spiritual. So I hope this helps, and I hope you have a great day. Peace and love.